G'day everyone, how are ya? Today, I just kind of want to give my first impressions of the 6.2 patch. Now, I tried my hardest to not spoil a lot of the patch through watching YouTube and listening to other people, because I kind of wanted to go in with a non-biased viewpoint on the entire process. And I found with a lot of the guys we watch on YouTube and stuff like that, a few of them, it's their job, you know, they get to play WoW all the time because it, you know, pays their bills and they can just put a lot of effort into it. So the way they approach content is a bit different to the way someone like myself, who, you know, has a family on the side, and the family's not on the side, but, you know, has a family and other things going on, and it's not, a lot of people say, you know, it's a big chore, and I feel if you're at the point in the game where you feel like a lot of the content that gets released is a chore, probably time for you to pack up the MMO, maybe move on to something a bit more casual or single player or, you know, quick match or something like that. If you can't put the hours into a massive multiplayer online, then maybe it's just time to move on. You know, our life's changed and all that. But saying all that, my opinions on actually 6.2, Tanaan, the shipyard, timeless, the Time Walker stuff, it's pretty positive, to be honest. So I'm actually really enjoying 6.2. I think this is more the fact, it is dailies. There is dailies thrown in there, like go kill 25 Iron Horn members, or get 20 blood, or kill 20 demons, and all various stuff for each day. And then you get the bonus ones. You get to do the Apexis missions and areas a couple times, I think 3 times. And then you get the fragments from, you know, finding rares, finding treasure, finding just like lootable chests and stuff laying out throughout Tanaan. And then you got the various group rares and events that happen, like the Blood Moon and all that type of stuff. Ultimately, I think I'm actually really enjoying it. I like going out there and having the ability to gear up my guy without having to do like raiding and LFR and stuff like that. You know, I know each Apexis, empowered Apexis fragment, or whatever the fuck it's called, it's like 20,000 Apexis crystals, which, you know, for some, like, oh, that's heaps, but, you know, I got the Mage Tower and everything, and yeah, I can get 495, or was it 695 piece of gear every couple days. So no, it's really good for me. And I find a lot of the zones, like, you get to pick where you want to do your Apex grind sort of thing, and that all determined by what character I'm playing. If I'm on my Brewmaster, I'd go to these zones and I'd kind of just drop my Ox and then pull like half the friggin' zone in that little area and just AoE them all down and stuff like that. But then on things like my Warlock and my DK and stuff, I find I could kill mobs, and then I'd click on the little collectibles and stuff to push that bar along. And I don't know if that was their intent on the variety in the zones and stuff, but I never felt like the bar took too long to fill up, you know, just me playing the game. And to be honest, I'm still one of those people that just likes pressing the buttons. You know, I don't need overwhelming mechanics and stuff like that just to keep myself interested. I just like playing the classes and doing their abilities and seeing the spell animations, and it's been like that since, you know, the entire time I've played WoW. And on some of the rares are pretty cool, you know, like with the treasure chest, there's one in like a little swampy area, and you go down there, and it's sort of like a pirate treasure trove, and you click on a box and a giant crab pops out, and you gotta fight that, and you collect all the treasures from the cave. Another one, you gotta like hunt down this stalker, you know, and you find all the bodies on the ground, and you get the stack to 10, and then he pops out and attacks you, and you take him down. So I like that sort of dynamic approach on the rares. So it's not just like they're just standing in a cave, or they're just standing at this point. You gotta kind of actually do little actions and stuff to make them appear. I know it's only a small thing, but, you know, it's pretty cool. The shipyard, I prefer the shipyard over the garrison, I'll tell you that much. It's not groundbreaking or anything like that, but at least I can rename my guys. I can equip them directly with what I want by buying them from the vendor for 500 garrison resources, and equip my boats with what they need for whatever mission I have needed to do, you know. And you can get armor pieces from your shipyard that are BOA, so you can send them to your alts and stuff like that if they're not quite up to Tanaan level. And the ones that drop in Tanaan are BOP, so I think that's a pretty cool thing too. You can get pieces of gear, 650 gear, to send to your alts and stuff like that that aren't quite capable of attending Tanaan, because it's pretty rough in Tanaan. Like, I haven't died much in Warlords of Draenor, but Tanaan, there's a few times when, you know, I bit off a bit more than I can chew, or I feared a mob into the wrong area and just got smashed. And of course, I play a PvP server, so there's always the confrontation with the enemy. But that normally doesn't last too long, and they kind of get bored and patter off. But a few times, a slash spit or two is led for my camped corpse for a while, so I just kind of switch characters for a bit. Yeah, but with the shipyard, it's pretty cool. It's nothing, can't really say much about it. A lot of people complaining about the resource cost, but to be honest, at this stage in the game, like, I got the lumber mill and trading posts and stuff like that, so garrison resources are not an issue. And with its ship blowing up, they don't really need a lot of XP to get to, like, rare and epic. So yeah, for me, them exploding and stuff kind of adds a little. I have one called Titanic, and I sent it on a mission and only had like a 30% chance to succeed, and thinking, oh, I'll blow this one up so I can build an additional boat that I need for this other mission. And no, it survived. It survived to 30%, it survived to 45%. You know, and it's like, no, I'm trying to kill this boat called Titanic, so I'm kind of rewriting history. On top of that, with the Mage Tower, Balua Gaming was, if you follow him, he mentioned you get like instant completion on your missions. That actually works with your shipyard, which is absolutely awesome, and I tend to do that a lot as well. You know, you get your 2-day one and you instantly complete it, and your ships level up so quickly. You get 10,000 experience points like that. So if you don't have a Mage Tower by now, I recommend you getting it, because it gets awesome amount of Apexis crystals, the convenience of the teleports. You get a mini teleport out in your base, so you can zip around your garrison a bit better. And you also get a runic empowerment circle when you're fighting out in Draenor, and it gives you a 100% chance to crit. So if you're doing a rare or an elite, you know, and that thing pops up, it makes it so much faster to down mobs. But overall, yeah, I'm quite happy with 6.2. I can see them trying to listen and change things for the better. I find the approach they're taking now is a step in the right direction. I think a few more tweaks here and there, a little bit more additional content, and yeah, it should be awesome. I haven't tried the raid yet, because, you know, I'm not too much of a raider anymore. My raiding years are behind me. Haven't touched PvP because this expansion, I don't really enjoy the PvP as much, with the imbalance and getting forced into Ashran and all that type of stuff. So I'm going to leave them out of my little first impressions thing. But all up, I'll give Tanaan probably a B+, B+, you know. Gives me something to do. Gives me something to kind of work towards without having to commit too much to it. I can do a little bit here and there. I can choose what I want to do in the zone exclusively. And from there, hey, you know, it's World of Warcraft. We've been grinding rep bars and doing daily since fucking BC. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. If that's not your thing, it might be time to friggin' pack it in and then move on to maybe a different MMO or a different type of genre altogether. Alright guys, I really want to hear what you think of 6.2, and maybe you haven't came back and give it a go yet. I know a lot of you have unsubbed at this point, but if you have unsubbed, I don't think 6.2 is really enough to bring you back into the game yet. Maybe wait for the next patch. Then when you resub, you're going to have heaps of stuff to do and catch up on, so it'll give you a lot of content to sink your teeth into. Alright guys, thanks for listening. The Warlock video is going to be up next. Finally, the 5 Reasons Warlock. It's been like 2 months, I think, you know, put it on delay. But that's definitely going to be the next video that comes out after this one. Just getting the final footage now. Going to throw it all together, do the audio. And it should be up probably sometime at the end of the week or on the weekend. You know, after I get work and stuff done. Alright guys, hope you're having fun. Hope you're grinding those bars like you wouldn't believe. Until next time, have a good one.